Welcome again to another podcast in our series, Builders of Bhutan, in which we talk to people who over the last 4 decades have made enormous contributions to creating the Bhutan of today. And if we think for a moment about important elements in the development of the country, one of the most important elements wherever you are is education. So today I'm delighted that we can talk to somebody who has made great contributions to education. And we're going to hear from Dasho Pema Thinley, an old friend. And the first thing I'm going to ask him is, where did he come from? Dasho, welcome. So, where did you come from? Tell me about your family and your school days.
Thank you, Michael. I think where I came from is a very small village in Mongar called Bargonpa. Just 2 houses in the middle of the forest. Of course, there were surrounding village around.
Right.
And that's where we came from. And that was a beautiful place to grow up.
So your family was farming?
Farming, yes. Farming
right.
family, definitely. Yeah.
And so tell me about life on the farm and going to school and
yes.
How big was the family? And
family, I think my grandparent from the mother's side and the neighbor, the brother of my grandparent.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So the 2 houses
yes,
were
2 houses
family.
We were together.
Right. Yeah, how
so
nice.
my cousin and I grew up together in that very beautiful place for us. But farming was a challenge because you had always the animals. I was almost taken out of the school to ward off the monkeys. I have been kept 1 or 2 weeks away, and after that, on my insistence, I could go back to school.
So all the pupils in a school are often considered as unruly as monkeys. So you had the job of the real monkeys.
Sure.
Yes.
So that is how.
So what age were you when you went to school?
We would have been about 9, I think, by the time that we went to
Right.
school. 8, 9,
Right.
1959 is when we went to school.
Right.
And of course, we did not know what school was at that time because there were no schools. That was the first school, probably not in Bhutan as such, but definitely in eastern Bhutan.
Yep.
And definitely in Mongar. That was the first school. So it was a kind of a very unknown entity.
So Dasho, before schools came into Bhutan, did young people get educated at all, or presumably in the monasteries?
Yes, I think we had what we call Gyempa monastery, not really a sort of monastic order as you would have the monks in the zongs now.
Right.
But we used to have what we call is village lamas,
Right.
who would have some students who their parents sent to learn how to read and write and then get on to religious practice later on. So you would have that kind of people.
But you didn't learn about geography or history?
No.
Mathematics?
No mathematics.
No. So the coming of the first schools here in the 50s was really a very, very significant moment.
Coming to think of it, very significant indeed. And I suppose, of course, our kings have always believed in education. I can see through some writing that even the first king, Yangchenphug, always wanted and was thinking about how to educate his people. And then down the line, first king, second king, third king, all the way. Education was something that was really at the top of their list because they knew that it will make a difference.
Yes. So how long were you at school in your village?
In Mongar, and then I think how we were picked up into go to school is interesting.
Yes.
At that time when we went to Mongar, Dasho Sonam Lempo Sonam Togge's father, Babu Karchu, Babu Tashi,
yes,
was the Zongpin. He was apparently asked by the third king to start a school, And as you know, Babu Tashi taught His Majesty the Third King. He was his teacher.
Yeah.
And so as Zongpen, he was asked to start a school in Mongar. And what he did is so interesting. He knew that nobody wanted to send their sons or daughters to school voluntarily. So he made it compulsory, conscripted.
Why didn't parents want to send their children to school? Because today it's the other way around.
Yes.
If there isn't a school, the parents complain. So what was
The concept of school wasn't there. The concept of sending away their children
Right.
from home wasn't there. The only probably concept that existed was who we call begups, people who are picked up to serve the court of the king
Right.
as garpas.
Right.
And then they were lost to the family and then taken away from the family and so on. So it was very foreign.
Yes.
And in the interesting thing, in the history of education in Bhutan, that was the largest number of students admitted into the first class ever in Bhutan. About 150
Right.
students in PP at that time.
Right. And that was it.
That was it.
Yes.
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 So
Now
it's a big
we've
deal.
got what 170,000.
Yes, but that was in one school, 150.
In one
no
school.
school today admit 150 students
That's right.
in a year.
So up to which class did you?
So in Mongar we went to up to class 6th.
Right.
When we got to 7, we were taken to Tashigang High School. In Tashigang High School, Father Mackey had come and he had started that school. So he wanted us to go there, or the government wanted
Yes.
us to go there.
So people went there from all over Bhutan.
All over Bhutan, meaning Tashigang High School.
Yes.
From Mongar, class 6 and 7,
Right.
were taken to Tashigang High School
Right.
to study there, because in Tashigang High School they had no students in there, one or two.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was the curriculum? Was it Hindi based or English based?
Curriculum, when we started school, we studied in Hindi.
Right, so it was Hindi based.
Yes, Hindi based. Right up to class 3, I think we studied Hindi.
Right.
And the curriculum was just one book. We'd study over and over again.
Really?
And memorize the whole thing. But looking back, to me, it seems not to make too much of a difference, the curriculum at that age. Depends on how your teachers manage you.
Absolutely. And your teachers, when you were in Monga, were your teachers Bhutanese, Indian, or?
There was, essentially 3 teachers, all Bhutanese.
All Bhutanese.
No Indians will come at that time. And they will teach in Hindi. One was, of course, somebody who went to school in India, I think, and
Right.
then he learned Hindi and he came and taught us Hindi. The other teacher was, of course, teaching Dzongkha. He came from the Gomchen, one of the Gomchens, taught us Dzongkha. And the third one, because the student numbers were 150 at one go, one teacher could not manage. So they had a health worker called Dasho. He became, of course, the Kalin later on here.
Right.
But he was a compounder meaning the health worker.
Health worker, yes.
Health worker. He did not have much work in the health, so he
taught.
was asked to teach. So he taught those people who spoke not main Shachop
Right.
in the veranda outside. And Lopin Baje taught us Hindi.
So
inside.
it was all quite amateur because your teachers had not been through teacher training.
No.
It was unknown in those days, wasn't it?
They probably did not have a proper education themselves to call it proper now.
The blind leading the blind.
Yes. Yes, but they knew. They were wise people.
Yes.
They were very wise people.
Well, there's the other proverb, isn't there, that in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Yes.
So after Monga, you went to Tashigang up until class
10.
10,
Class 10.
which then was the sort of end, wasn't it?
Class 10 was the end. When we graduated from in class 10, we were about, I do not know, I think we were 22, 23 graduating
Right.
at class 10 there.
And were you a good student? Were you a good student? Did
Yes.
you do well?
We were all good students because we came from a selected group of 150 and 25 getting there.
Ah, right,
is,
I see.
quite
So there was
quite
selection.
Quite a good deal because
Right.
through the natural selection
Yes.
of passing your exams, coming to the next class
Right.
and so on. But when we finished, Michael, in class 10, many people who were physically big and strong will get picked up to join the government, either in the police, as
Right.
either in the army or postmasters,
Runners.
runners, not runners. Runners, villagers can do that one.
Oh, right.
That you did not need. If you were class 6 educated, very well educated at that time. So class
Right.
10 is superb. But some of us were rather too young to do any of that.
Right.
So we had nowhere to go when we finished class 10, no class 11.
Right.
And Father Mackey, through his influence, he thought he will put us in North Point in Darjeeling. And we were set to go. But finally, when we were really preparing to go, we were not accepted because Bhutan class 10 wasn't accepted.
not accepted.
Not accepted. So we had no place to go. And during that time, we waited for 1 year here in Thimphu while the government was looking for a place for us to go, 5 of us.
And what did you do?
Oh, we
Just
did
hang around.
various things. Oh, we have got lots of job. The government can employ you anywhere.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So I think 2 of us were sent to teach in Yangchenphug High School.
What, at that young age?
Yes.
Past class 6?
Class 10.
Oh, class 10.
Class 10.
So
Those
you
were
were
big guys.
way up. Yes, my goodness.
Yeah, class 10.
But Yangchenphug was then called Thimphu Central School,
No, it was called Yangchenphug.
It was called Yangchenphug.
Yangchenphug Public School. At
That's
that time.
right,
Public
yes,
school means
right.
we were provided everything like
Yeah.
the central schools today.
Right. Right.
And then there was one person who looked after the guest house, which was Caroline Sering's school later. It was a guest house, and he was the guest house in charge. And one person became kind of a private assistant to Lempo Dawa.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
And then where was the? I forget who
Yes.
where the fourth one worked.
Right.
He worked with the chief of the development ministry,
Which
not the minister. Was an Indian called
Indian.
Malhotra.
Yes,
Malhotra.
that's right.
So he was
Yes.
kind of an assistant to Malhotra.
Right, right.
So 5 of us well placed
Right.
for 1 year.
For a year. So which is quite a good preparation for going on
Very good
to
preparation.
North
yes,
Point.
because
And then
we-
did you go on at the end of the year to North Point?
No, we were not accepted.
Right.
So in the meantime, the government, through, I would think, Lempo Dawa's influence around the world
Yes.
at that time as foreign minister. Not foreign minister, he was development
He was
minister at
development
that time.
minister, that's right.
And they found Australia accepting us.
Really?
Yes.
My
So
goodness.
through the Colombo Plan. At that time, they had Colombo Plan. Of course, it's an Australian
So the
government scholarship.
emigration to Australia
We
for
started.
education, you
We started. And
You were the
Perth we
first.
went to.
Right,
And that's
to
where
Perth.
most Bhutanese are
wherever,
today.
indeed. Yes. Have you been back to Perth since?
About twice, yes.
Right,
Yes, just
right.
went and sort of detoured to visit.
That must have
all
changed a lot in the time you've known it.
Perth hadn't changed at that time, but now probably changed
Yes.
quite a bit because it's a small state
Yes,
in Australia.
yeah, indeed,
And Perth they chose because it's small.
So what did you do in Perth?
We went to school, class 11 and 12. We had to complete what
Right.
we call the A levels.
Right.
And then after that, we went to university.
In Australia?
Yes. And then I stayed back 1 year to get myself trained as a teacher.
So what did you study at university?
I think all 5 of us at that time studied very different. One studied survey. He
Right.
graduated from survey. One studied finance, one studied engineering, one studied of course me education,
Right.
and the other one agriculture.
Agriculture. Right. So all the 5 important areas for development.
Yes.
And
I
in
think
those
interestingly-
days, if one thinks of survey,
Yes.
I mean, it would not have been long since survey was done with a chain.
Yes, I think after he came back also he might have done with the
Really?
same. Yes.
Really?
And,
And then we wonder why some of the land registry is a bit inaccurate. Using a chain on the
Yes.
hilly ground here is not
Yes.
very good. And so you did a first degree in education,
Yes.
and then a teacher's diploma.
I did social science. I studied social science and
right.
economics and sociology majors.
And did you intend to become a teacher right from the beginning?
My 1 year time in Yangchenphug made me think of education. And of course, we were not exposed to what else we could do.
Yes,
And
of
then
course.
so I got myself as trained as a teacher. And then when I came back and said I want to be a teacher, people were surprised. Because there were so many places which were open.
That's right, yes.
And in fact, somebody in the Ministry of Development, in the development ministry at that time, asked me, "Do you really want to be a teacher?" Because teachers were rather lowly placed at that time.
Yes.
And then because the government, as a graduate,
That's
an
right.
Australian graduate at that
You could
time,
have
we could have come up
become
quite
an ambassador or
fast.
something. Yes.
Ambassador,
Yes.
secretaries, I do not know, directors, so many places open. But then I could not think in my simplistic mind, if I've got trained as a teacher, why would I like to be something else?
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not going to ask you for an answer to this question because I don't want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
But one could speculate on who contributes more to society, a teacher or an ambassador. I know my answer,
Yes.
which is why for 30 odd years I was a teacher. But it's quite an interesting question.
We would both agree on that one, but
Yes.
I think probably other people will have their own opinions.
Sorry, that's a completely different debate. However, so then you now qualified as a teacher, you come back to Bhutan. Where did you start?
I started at Yangchenphug High School as
Back
a teacher,
again,
yes,
right.
and stayed there for 6 years as a teacher.
Right. And then,
And then I was asked to go to Paro as a principal of Paro Central School at that time.
which was Gupe School.
Gaupe School,
Gaupe
yes,
School.
Gaupe School. That's where you started, no?
No,
you
I
had
didn't.
No association.
Stuart Philby started at Gupe School.
Oh.
I came straight from England, from Oxford, a boarding school in Oxford, to Paro.
I see.
But I was very aware of Gupe School.
Yes.
And Gupe School was beginning to fall down, the foundations, there were cracks. And I was asked by the British Overseas Development Administration to advise on the UK's final project in Bhutan. What should it be? And friends in education had suggested I should look at Gupe School and suggest the building of a new school
Yes.
because Gupe School was falling down. And that's how Drukgyal School started.
That's very nice to know. I
yes.
think Drukgyal has
And
really come up well.
So the Department of Education and the Overseas Development Administration in London paid my airfare to come on another visit to Bhutan. And I think I just produced 2-page thing suggesting a school near Drukgyal Dzong. And so it's been delightful to see how Drukgyal High School has
How nice.
come on.
Yes.
And,
How nice.
However, that was in those days.
Yes.
And so Paro Central School, and how long were you there? And
I was about 3 years there,
Right.
and then they wanted me to go to Samtse, teachers.
to the new teacher training college.
teacher training college that used to be called, what is it? The Institute of Education.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And so you went to Samtse.
Yes, as the director of the
What
Samtse
was
College
it
of
like
Education.
when you arrived? How many students were there?
At that time, not many people wanted to be teachers.
Right.
So I think, of course, in the primary meaning they could join the primary after class 10. They could even join after class 8
Right.
as primary teachers. That was quite all right.
Yes.
But they wanted me to start the secondary teachers training also in addition to that one. And B.Ed, Bachelor of Education, we associate with London Institute of Education.
Right, of course, yes.
And the students were very reluctant to come. Very few people. I remember struggling for 3-4 years trying to get students into the B.Ed course. And after that, of course, as it developed, then we had people coming.
Which is very strange, isn't it? I've never quite understood why teachers in Bhutan don't have a higher regard from the public, bearing in mind in Buddhism and in the Bhutanese Buddhism we have here, teachers are highly revered. Everybody needs a teacher.
I have often wondered about that. And I think as we developed in a market economy where money is valued, then I think whoever gets a little bit more money is and more prominent in the public figure if you can order other people around. The teachers don't have too many people except the students to order around.
But, Dasho, and I'm sure you will have found this, Carolyn Sering has found this, I certainly have found this. Do you remember the civil servant who signed your driving license? No. But
Yes.
do you remember? Oh, you do.
Yes.
But,
No, I don't. I don't.
But do you remember the teacher who taught you English or mathematics or geography or history, or the teacher who inspired you to do something?
Many.
Yes. So, whilst a teacher may not get as many nultrums, they get a great deal more in terms of the inheritance they're leaving.
Yes.
And perhaps we should try and make more of that.
Yes. I think now I think people see it little bit. The teachers are seen in a better light.
Right.
Yeah, now.
Right.
But still, if you compare to somebody who joins the civil service, gets the department, soon becomes the head of the department, and then gets a car to drive and so on, driver. That is what appeals to the things. You know, when I came and joined as a teacher, my friends remind me, I never sort of saw that one as important at that time. My colleagues who came and joined as engineer, he already had, as he joined, he already had a cook, he had a driver, and he had quarters provided, all the paraphernalia, and he could be driven around. Me as a teacher, what we call the dry salary, you get 550 nultrums was what I was paid at that time.
Per
month.
Per month.
Per month. So that is it. You are the cook, you are the... you can't drive because you don't have anything to drive. So that's it. But I never really saw myself in that light. Sometimes you would feel the pain because the 550 might run out by the time the third week or fourth week comes. You don't have money to buy the toothpaste.
But now teachers are much better paid.
Much paid.
I mean, the fourth king raised the salaries of teachers significantly. However, we mustn't talk about philosophy. So you were at Samtse College of Education, or the Teacher Training College, and how many years were you there?
10 years.
10
longest,
years, right, a long time, yes. And then what?
Then after that, I was asked to come to the curriculum division at that time as the director of division.
Here in Thimphu?
Yeah.
And this was in what year? Approximately.
94, 95.
Right. Right.
Yes.
And what did you do to the curriculum?
Oh, curriculum, we had a lot of work to do. Curriculum that we have started seriously to do our own curriculum at that time. And
Right.
we had a lot of work to do. Of course, I saw a lot of work going on. And then it was a pleasure to be spend about 3 years in the curriculum.
Right.
And then I was asked to go to Sherubtse College as the principal of Sherubtse College.
Right.
Yes.
And Sherubtse College, was that? Well, no, of course it wasn't the University College.
No.
Because the
No,
university...
it was under the Ministry of
had
Education.
Ministry of Education, yes. And so what did you do? You were principal at Sherubtse?
Principal of Sherubtse College in Sherubtse. It was interesting. So I think I was at my prime wanting to do things.
You're like Miss Jean Brodie.
Yeah, and Nancy and I started Father Mackey Center for Mathematics and Computer Science.
Right.
So I started computer science in
Really?
with Nancy.
What sort of year was that, though?
That was in 90
Must be in 70-something.
no, 95, 96.
Oh, right.
95,
So quite on,
96.
yes.
Yeah.
So there were the odd computers
Yes,
here then.
Father Mackey, Nancy wanted to do something for
Right.
Father Mackey.
This is Nancy Strickland, the
Yes, Nancy
Canadian.
Strickland, yes, Canadian. And then I, of course, Father Mackey was my teacher and sort of
Right.
Robert figure. And Sherubtse was his making.
That's right.
So
yes.
we started that. And out of that grew what we now call the, Gyepujing.
Gelpashing College of Technology.
Yes,
Yes.
which is up here now
That's right.
today.
It's funny, it's called Gelpashing College, but it's up,
It's up here.
north of
Yes.
Thimphu,
Yeah, Gyepujing is the
which
next
is
name.
very confusing, isn't it?
Yes. And then Sherubtse, other things I remember doing there is I built a chetin.
Right.
I built a chetin
Right.
where the young boys and girls used to always meet and create a lot of problem.
So you're responsible for a rise in the birth rate.
Yes, so we sort of, there was a tree which is broken and looking
Right.
little ugly. So we thought we should build a chetin there.
Right.
And then, of course, many people cursed me about having destroyed that tree
Right.
because they had made many friendships there.
Right.
Yeah, so we
So
built a
you
chetin.
destroyed memories.
Yes, and what else did I do in Sherubtse? 3 years only short.
Right.
Again, very short. And then I remember making a lot of footpaths, joining all the thing. I remember making a lot of wardens' quarters because the lecturers would not like to be wardens because they had nothing to get. And we thought sort of our way to get around was to build nice quarters. But of course it did some trick, but eventually being a warden is a big problem.
Oh, yes, very much so. Yes.
So I think those are things that I remember having done there. Yeah, but I think biggest thing was this computer center.
Right,
And mathematics
right.
computer center.
And now, of course, it's AI, which is
Yes.
the new computing. Very interesting.
Very, very.
However, so 3 years at Sherubtse, and then where?
Then I was asked to come to the Ministry of Education as the Director of Education. At that
Right.
time, of course, you had the minister. And
Who
you
was
had,
the minister then?
minister was, when I came,
I'm trying to remember before.
Lembosange, I think.
Right.
Yeah, Lembosange was the minister,
Right.
yes, at that time. And I was the director in the Ministry of Education. And the director had the charge of the whole Ministry of Education because, of course, with the minister. The secretary of the Ministry of Education and Health was from Health, Dr. Samtse Thinley.
Oh, right. Yes,
Yes.
that was combined.
Yes,
wasn't it?
combined.
That's right.
And then they had a director.
Yes.
Yes.
So how many years as Director of
I
Education?
do not know now, 3-4 years. And then I was promoted as the Director General.
Right.
Just to give me a raise.
Yeah.
It didn't change anything. Give me a bit more money.
So
I think.
what, any significant changes you brought in those days?
No, that one continuing into, then I became the secretary.
Right.
When the
The secretaries.
Yes,
So You were the first secretary?
I was under that scheme, I was the first secretary.
First secretary, right.
No, hang on. I was not the first secretary. They had secretaries before.
Right.
Before the health and the education combined.
That's right.
Yes, it was separate. Right. In between, it got combined.
And Limbasange was Minister of Health and Education.
Education, yes.
That's right. Yes.
And I was the Secretary of Education. So we did many things during that. And Limbasange, of course, is a dynamic leader. He's a leader rather than executive.
That's right.
Who can lead, inspire, and so on. And we did many things with Limbasange. At that time, we had the pressure of admissions. Now, people want their children to be admitted, and then it is in Hunti, this particular village, who wants their student to be in school. There's no school. We had to build school.
So what a difference from in your childhood, when parents were hiding their children so that they wouldn't have to go to school. Yes.
And we had to kind of Bhutanize the curriculum, meaning putting Bhutanese content into the curriculum. A lot of job, a lot of work.
Right.
But the schools had to be built up very fast. The teachers had to be trained very fast. And the curriculum had to be modernized. So we had a lot of things. And then with Lempo and later on Lempo Jamso as the minister, they are very excellent leaders. And I had the support. And then we were able to achieve many things, I think.
Right.
Of course, on reflection, we see a lot of what we have done is copied from others, because you have no other lead.
Yes.
Of course, the fourth king, who has keen interest in education.
As I'm aware, yes.
Wanted Bhutanese values, human values into the education, and we did not quite know how to put that one. We struggled, but we made some start, and I think it is sort of grounded to become what we call educating for GNH now.
Which Tako Singh brought in.
Yes. And then, of course, we had no university. The education ministry had to take decisions on tertiary education.
So what happened for tertiary education? And people would go outside Bhutan?
Many people will go outside to India, a few to Australia, Canada, and so on, but sort of limiting numbers. India, a lot. And then we had to think about making Sherubtse College a junior college has been even difficult.
Right. And it was a junior college under St. Stephen's, was it?
No, junior college.
Whose degrees did it offer?
It's the Indian School Certificate.
I see.
Yeah,
right.
ICSC.
That's right, ICSC.
So we had to be affiliated to them.
Right.
And then Sherubtse College becoming a college with the Delhi University.
Delhi, that's right.
Delhi University. And I remember accompanying Father Leclerc to discuss how this could be done in Delhi University.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So.
And then you mentioned the university.
Yes.
And I think you were quite a key figure. And if I'm right, I think the third king had once mentioned the idea of having a university, but nothing had really happened. But when you were in office, I think you were very much involved in the creation of the university. Can you tell us about how the Royal University of Bhutan came about?
I could see in the papers, and I'm now surprised to hear about the third king having mentioned university. But through the small papers and records that we had, the government always wanted to have a university. Only thing, we did not know how to do it, because university is a big deal.
Right. Yes.
And so in the meantime, I as a teacher, and I think this is the difference between a professional becoming a leader in a ministry, and somebody picked up from the the administrative cadre and becoming, they can't understand
They can,
sort of the nuts and bolts
Yes.
of the profession. So myself, it was an advantage for me, and I had a passion for it, for education as such. Even as the director, I never really left the classroom.
Right.
I always get
Right.
involved in
Right.
the workshops and so on. And then it occurred to me that during that time, that if our teachers who were educated up to class 8 and became primary teachers, if they retired as primary teachers like that, then our education system will become dead,
Right,
because
indeed.
they have to
Yeah,
live, work there,
Yeah.
and then. So we thought of what we call the continuing education, distance education.
Distance
Yes,
education,
distance
yes.
education. They could go and do upgrade themselves into a B.Ed
Yep.
through distance.
That's right,
Going
distance
and studying every winter down there and doing their assignments from home. And similarly, I enrolled into a master's program in Armidale in Australia,
Right.
University of New England.
Right.
And by that time, of course, I had graduated from the Ministry of Education to working in Samtse College of Education, which is National Institute of Education in Samtse. And when I was in National Institute of Education and I was doing my assignments, and we had to do significant assignments
Right.
as part of that. And then I was wondering how can we create a university?
Right.
As I was doing the assignment and reading and looking at models of universities
Yes.
around. So I did a paper for my master's education, not a thesis, a paper,
paper,
just
yeah.
a major
Yeah.
paper, on how we could create a university. And it occurred to me that Bhutan, while we did not have a university to unite, we had colleges.
Right.
We had 2 engineering colleges. We had 2 education colleges for education. We had agriculture college. Then we had Sherubtse College. Then we had the Institute of Language and Culture.
Cultures, yes.
Then we had the Institute of Management, RIM, Royal Institute of
Right.
Management. So we had
We
10.
had colleges there,
10.
yes.
So I thought, how can that be brought into one wing? Because as a university, one campus university, we can't imagine. It's
Yeah.
so expensive, and it's not really
Not
sort
really
of
appropriate, to be
Appropriate,
honest.
yeah, not suitable. So I did a paper, and I got an A grade for that. Yeah. So when I came back and worked in the Ministry of Education, Lembo Sangye, as a dynamic leader, any proposal that we put, he'll take it seriously. So we're just talking like this and saying at that time we were in transition to democracy. The king had abdicated, the fourth king abdicated from his sort of role as the king and handed over to the 10 ministers, no?
That's right.
10
Yes,
ministers
yes,
as an interim level, and the 10 ministers from different ministries used to meet every week and debate out their issues and make decisions. So he was asking, do we have any significant decision to be made in the Council of Ministers? So this idea came to me and said,
Right.
we need a university.
University.
I have got a proposal, and I could quickly develop into a sort of a useful, presentable
Right.
proposal. And he said yes.
Right.
And so in 2 or 3 weeks' time, I developed into a sort of
So there we are.
rough paper as to how we can bring this together. He took it and then presented
Yes.
this to the Council of Ministers. They did not, of course, said yes, because in the Council of Ministers, we had many who would not believe in these multi-campus
Right.
college universities because they think that's second class. The first
In
class
spite of the
should
fact
be
that the universities of Oxford and Cambridge are multi-campus.
multi-campus. Yes.
Multi-college.
So that was not. So I think Lembo Sangye, of course, very skillful once his intention is correct. So we presented 2 or 3 times, it's not going through, and then we presented again while all these critics were not there in the council.
Very good.
Some of the major critics were not there. Accepted. So it was approved.
Right.
So once it is approved, it's through. Then we have to work through the the nuts and bolts of how this could be put together. And we visited number of, we had planned to visit.
So during all this time, you were imposed as Secretary of Education.
Secretary of Education at that time.
Yes.
Because the university creation was the responsibility of the Ministry of Education then.
Yes.
So I think I visited the University of
Highlands and Islands.
Islands in
Scotland.
Yes. I visited that, and impressive. Yes, it can be done. And we asked World Bank if they could assist in some getting some people to work with us, and we got some people to work with us.
Now, was the lead man from the Highlands and Islands? Do I remember he was called Austin Reed?
Austin Reed, yes.
Yes. The funny thing is, Dasho, I don't know whether you're aware, Austin Reed was a great big clothes shop in England with branches in many, many big cities.
Oh, I see.
And so if you said Austin Reed, people immediately thought of clothes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I always remember meeting him and saying, what a funny name you've got.
He did quite a lot of work.
That's right.
With us. Of course, we had World Bank assistance to assist us through the monetary support.
Right.
I also was supposed to visit the University of Pacific, University of Pacific it's called, where the campuses are placed in different countries.
Right.
Yes.
That's a challenge.
Yes.
Dear.
So I thought that is an interesting thing, but I never got there.
Oh, dear.
And because I think my visa didn't work it out. I was there, the plane was waiting, I was here.
And the visa wasn't there.
I was diverted to New Zealand.
Yes. Well, New Zealand is a very nice place. Yes. So tell us a little bit about how you went about. The colleges already existed, so it was really an issue of blending them together with a university charter. And did that come from the king, or?
We didn't have to, I think that came from the king, definitely. We had to have a charter, that's what we found. We drafted the charter, and Lembu Sangye was still there. And Lembu Sangye presented this charter to His Majesty the Fourth King. And within about a week, the charter came back signed.
There we are.
Approved.
That's the advantage.
Yes.
That's the advantage of a king.
Yes. Approved, because I think, which just indicated that he wanted our university.
Yeah.
And because university in many ways is a symbol of an independent country, no?
And not only an independent country, of a developed country. And I find it quite remarkable that in just a few decades, Bhutan went from a country where there was no education other than for the monks, to a country where there is a flourishing university. It's quite an achievement.
Very big achievement. Now today, our students from the Royal University of Bhutan are accepted.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, you were involved in setting it up, and then what happened?
We set it up, and then I think we had the right minister, Lembu Sangye.
Right.
And because some colleges were a little reluctant, and some ministries,
I'm very aware.
Some ministries were a bit reluctant
to
sort of join.
I remember these days.
And so Lembu Sangye, as the minister and sort of who had influence all over the ministry, through different ministries, said, okay, we have a ceremony for the pledge. And then we took the university office to the RIM, their guest house. We modified that, made it into a university office. And then we got the directors in a ceremony to pledge with their flags to the university. And there it was, the university was created.
So it was created, yes. It's a very interesting issue. I firmly believe that all great developments are the result of the drive and imagination, but especially the drive of one person. What I say is, Einstein did not discover relativity by setting up a committee.
Yes.
And if we think of Limposange, he was the sort of person with
Yes,
drive who,
right
once he
time.
determined to do something, we think of health.
Yes.
And the development
Yes.
fund, I forgot what it's called, the health development fund. You know, once he decided,
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
And I think that's a very important quality in a national.
So very important.
But you went on then, having been very involved in creating it. Am I not right in thinking you went on to run it?
Yes, I did as the third Vice Chancellor of
So
the Royal
who was the
University.
first Vice
The first was, of course, Limposange.
Oh, he
And
was
will
the
not-
Vice Chancellor.
He was the
And
Vice
His
Chancellor
Majesty
from
the
the
King
Minister.
was the Chancellor.
His Majesty the King is the Chancellor.
And
So
Limposange was the first
yes.
Vice Chancellor.
I must also tell you that when we took our Royal Charter to His Majesty the Fourth King and also asked for our Chancellor, His Majesty the Fourth King signed the Charter and said the Chancellor is going to be the Crown Prince.
Right.
Yes, Crown Prince. So that's why. And so the Crown Prince who became the King now is the Chancellor of the Royal University.
Right.
The Royal University of Bhutan. So I think, yes, I think that's correct. I think it was so fortunate to have Limposange who could drive and put these things in place at that time. But of course, at the back of it was, of course, His Majesty's inspiration.
Yes, of course. But nevertheless, it requires that single person with, do it.
Yes, yes. And it gets done.
Yes.
So it is.
It's not, very interesting. And you became who was the second? Oh, the
second was Limpo Zangle
Dukpa, that's right. Yes. And then you became the third Vice Chancellor. How long were you there?
I was there for 8 years.
Right.
Yes, first term and second term, yes.
And did you see it develop and change?
Oh, I saw it develop a lot.
Right.
I think, and then we got the colleges to work together as a team. Of course, the groundwork was established by Limpo Zangle Dukpa, who was the second Vice Chancellor for, I do not know, 2-3 years.
Right.
And he had already these colleges working together. We would travel from one college to the other college together. And then we have got the board meetings, what we call the academic board meetings. And academic board meetings get conducted in different campuses.
Right.
So when the university goes to Sherubtse College becomes the host, and all other directors from the colleges will go and...
Because when you've got a whole lot of colleges, all of which had been operating independently, to persuade them all to come together under a higher authority must have been a very difficult diplomatic exercise.
Quite challenging exercise, I think. And also their parent ministries letting it go.
Ah, right, of course, yes.
is another big challenge. But I think having established and pledged, it worked quite well. Ministry of Health with the two institutes that are the traditional medicine and the nursing and the health workers.
Which is now the Kesagelpo
University has been little difficult in that they had been so close, and it is within almost close proximity of the ministry, as well as the Royal Institute of Management.
The RIM, didn't it manage never to become?
It became, but it managed to get out.
That's right.
And we let it go because I think get some determination.
I do remember the various discussions about RIM in those days.
So there's still out of the university.
Right, that's right. Yes.
So we had challenges. But I think overall it worked quite well.
Well, it's still there.
Yes.
I mean, and very successful.
Yes.
And so, how long were you? 8 years?
8 years in the Royal University of Bhutan.
And then retirement?
And retired in 2014.
Right.
Yes.
And now you're doing the best job in the world, Dasho, which is being retired. And obviously still keeping very active. But the really important thing, and I think it's very important young people realize this, the important thing is when you get old, to be able to look back on your life and feel you made a difference. And it doesn't have to be a grand difference founding a university. It can be a small difference in the family or with an individual.
Yes.
But to look back and say, yeah, I think I made a difference. And that is worth more than money. Because in old age, which is where I am and you soon will be.
I am.
Well, I think there's a decade between us.
Yeah.
You can't take the money with you. No matter how big your motor car, it doesn't go on the funeral pyre down at the cremation ground. But what you can leave behind is the change, the effect you've had. It can be on a person, a family, friends, a village, or a nation. So with great respect, Dasho, if I may say so, I think looking at your wonderful career in education, ending up in the top highest institution as the Vice Chancellor shows a life well lived.
Just on that note, if I may make a short comment to conclude it. Yes, I think there are many people who have retired at my age.
Right.
If you go to any gathering, I will be picked up.
Right.
Because I've been a teacher, and they remember.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yes. I now any crowd that I go, and if the current foreign minister is there, he remembers me as his class 6 teacher in Gaupe.
Yes.
And he would come and greet me, and people get surprised.
Yes.
So and that is the honor that you have.
Yes, you're
and then we have
absolutely
many other people who come and comment on little differences that you might have
Which
made.
is why I asked you a little while ago, do you remember the person who signed your driving license? Now, you don't remember a bureaucrat, but you do remember a teacher. Yes. Some you remember because they were terrible.
Yes.
Others, I remember I had a mathematics teacher who was absolutely useless.
Yes.
Absolutely useless.
Yes.
And the result was we all realized if we wanted to pass the exam, we had to learn ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
And that was a tremendous lesson in learning how to learn yourself.
Yes.
So that really bad teacher had actually a good effect.
Indeed.
So a teacher leaves a lifelong memory, a lifelong inheritance, which goes past the generations.
Yes.
Because one of your students will tell their children about you, and their children will say, oh, Dad used to talk about, you weren't Dasho then, about his teacher, Pema Thinley.
Yes.
And I think we have both been very privileged to do a job
teacher,
which is probably the most wonderful job there is.
Yes.
The other wonderful one is being a doctor, where you can save somebody's life, which they will never forget.
Yes.
But the other one is a teacher.
Yes.
So we've a lot to thank Guru Rinpoche for. Thank you very much indeed, Dasho, for talking
Michael,
to us.
thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Nice talking to you.
Bye-bye. So, thank you for watching.
Yes.
Long
conversation.
Indeed. And so, I don't know who our next interviewee is going to be for our next Builders of Bhutan. Thank you very much to Dasho Pema Thinley, and watch all our episodes, which are now available on YouTube. Any problems or comments, please get in touch with Juno Studio, and remember that Bhutan has been built by people, and those people are very important. Think of the past as well as thinking of the future.